It's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets here on YouTube, and today I'm starting a new series on my channel which will run for the next 5 days. And this series was actually inspired by my friend Betty Jean from beautbean. I will link her channel up in the cards and in the description box down below. She has no idea she even inspired this series, but she did a swatch video of all of her least used shades in the palette. And I got to thinking and I thought, you know, I have a lot of palettes that have like a neutral side and a colorful side, and I don't use the shades normally on like the more neutral side of the palette. So I'm calling this the Neutral Side of the Palette series, and I've chosen 5 palettes that I can think of off the top of my head that have like really colorful shades that I love to use, and then they have like more neutral shades or just shades, like for me, like a orange shade or like a burnt orange or a burnt red or a yellow, like those are shades, or a brown, like those are shades I wouldn't normally gravitate towards. So those are the shades that I want to use from each of those 5 palettes. So the first palette that I chose, so it's, you know, it's not, the video that she did wasn't exactly what I'm doing, but it just made me think about what shades don't I use in palettes, and so I decided to do this. So today I'm going to use the Tribe palette from Juvia's Place. So this palette is absolutely stunning. All the shades in the palette are stunning, but this palette, the shades that I gravitate towards obviously are the greens, even though there's a beautiful, like, you know, kind of rusty brown and an orange and another orange and then this bronzy color. And then this color right here can kind of go either way, like with either side of the palette, quote unquote, even though this doesn't have sides. But those are the shades that I want to use today instead of the greens, because I literally don't think I've touched even any of the other shades. So that is what we're going to do. And then each day, like I said, for the next 5 days will be me just using different palettes, and you'll have to see what palettes are coming up. So I think the first shade I'm going to dip into is going to be the shade Ashanti, which is that brownish, like they all, well, this shade kind of, sorry, I didn't mean to knock you guys around there. I don't even have eye primer on. Hold on a second. This is crazy. I'm actually going to use concealer today as my eyeshadow primer. I've been using like primarily the, what is it called? I'm drawing a blank. P. Louise base, yes. Ever since I got it, and I don't know, I just kind of want to go back to using concealer for today. So I'm going to do that. I'm like, I'm going to go in with this eyeshadow even though I don't even have primer on. Who am I? What is wrong with me today? So today is kind of just a chill day here. It is freezing rain outside and like kind of high winds, like 50-mile-per-hour winds. So I have no interest in being anywhere near the outdoors, although I have gone out a few times because I still have to walk my dogs. So yeah, but it's not the kind of day that you actually want to go anywhere. What is the weather like where you guys are? Is it nice? Is it... Okay, that's not gonna work. Hold on. Every time I dip into the eyeshadow palette, I bounce you guys around. Let's try it this way. I don't want to keep bouncing the camera. What kind of weather are you having where you are? I know my friend Michelle from Michelle's Empire. I will link her channel as well. You guys should definitely go check her out. She does awesome special effects looks, but she's getting a snowstorm. She's in Canada, so I told her, I was like, well, I'd rather have snow than you know, freezing rain. But I used to love snow, I think, more than I do now. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the past couple of times we've gotten snow, I just haven't been as excited. But I think it's because we always get like an in-between amount. Like we never get well, I won't say never, but we hardly ever get like huge snowstorms anymore, where it's like the kind that, you know, you're like, okay, I have a few days where I can just stay in the house, watch the snow fall. It just comes and then it's gone and then it's ugly outside, but I don't know. So I'm not saying, some of these looks might be a lot softer than what you're used to seeing from me. Some of these looks might be like a more just neutral glam, but they're all going to be more on the neutral side of, you know, neutral sides of the palette. So if you've ever been like, wish Anya would do some more neutral looks, this is your week. So now I'm going to the shade Aroma, which is like the orangey matte shade. And I'm just going to kind of stamp that along the edge of the brown, but kind of go on top of the brown as well. And then kind of blend a little bit. And I think this will be fun because I'll create looks that I never normally would have if I wouldn't have done this. And for some reason, lately, I've really been wanting to play with neutral colors. I don't know who I am. I still love my greens and my purples and my blues, but I don't want to be closed off to other shades as well. And now I'm going back in with that original shade. Kind of blending the two together. So I think these looks will still be kind of intense, but just not as, you know, not as, you know what I'm talking about, not as crazy of color scheme or color story. And now I'm going back into the orange again. I do like these shades together. They're really pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of that brown, and I guess it's more like an olive green almost, and the orange. And I'm going to, mostly the orange though, and I'm kind of going to put that on the outer V. Yeah, mostly the orange. This is a very well put together palette. I wouldn't say it's my favorite palette from Juvia's Place, but I feel like I've seen other people do looks with this palette, and I feel like, I don't know how to put it, but like for me, this palette is like the mattes are very like hard pressed. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but I see other people using it and having like these amazing, beautiful results. And I think that they're gorgeous, but I do feel like they're pressed a little bit stiffer than the other mattes and shimmers actually than other palettes from Juvia's Place. Still, it's still an amazing palette. I just feel like it's pressed a little bit differently. I could be totally wrong, but I just feel like it is. I don't feel like it's as easy to use for me as some of the other Juvia's Place palettes that I own. So I'm just taking some glitter glue and I'm putting that on my lid and a little bit out and a little bit into the crease. Because now I'm going to use the two sparkly shades. Just dropped my lip color. And I do have my e.l.f. lip plumper on, and I have my brows on already. So I'm going to go into a little bit of Curla, which is this orange right here. And then I keep trying to put the palette back to where it's gonna knock the camera around. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I'm just gonna put that right where I put the color on the matte, not the matte. Oh yeah. Where I put the matte color on the outer V. There we go. Juvia's Place is so pigmented that I don't feel like I always have to do a cut crease in order to get that kind of look with, you know, like I can do it without. If I put a glitter glue or if I wet my brush or use my finger. This is such a beautiful color. And I haven't used it. Okay, and then I'm going to go into Chaga, which is, it's like a bronzy color, but it does have like a green undertone. And I'm going to put that right next to it. Actually, I'm going to go all the way to the inner corner. And then I might put the other shade, my favorite one, Coral, in just my inner corner once I do my foundation. That's so pretty. Do you guys have this palette? Let me know down below if you have this palette, what your favorite shade in the palette is, and if you tend to lean towards the green side or the more grungier, like neutrally shades. Okay, so I just realized I forgot to bring makeup wipes over here, so let me go grab those and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I removed that fallout, so now we can do our face. So I'm going to use my Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation that I've been using nonstop, and I'm going to mix it with the Maybelline Super Stay, which I also love. And I just put 2 little pumps of each, so I would say really it's like 1 pump of each, because like 1 little pump is like really a half a pump, if that makes sense. And just so you guys know, if you missed it, I put out a video on Valentine's Day. Well, I put out 2. One was a collaboration, but the other one was a, it just says Happy Valentine's Day and thank you. And it's actually a giveaway that I'm doing right now for a set of BH Cosmetics brushes. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check that out and make sure you enter the giveaway. I really love this e.l.f. sponge. If you guys can find it and get your hands on it, the only place I've seen this particular one is Rite Aid, but I'm sure they have it other places. Just in my area, I could only find it at Rite Aid. And I bought 2 since I had only seen it, you know, and I was in need of sponges. So I just went ahead and bought 2 and hoped that I would like it. And I absolutely, positively love it. It's like a combination between, I think I said this in another video, or I'm just having deja vu, but it's like a combination between the Juno & Co sponge, which I really like, and like any other sponge, like the Real Techniques or the Eco Tools or the Morphe or the Sonia Kashuk or anything like that, because it's, I don't know, it's this interesting material, but I absolutely, positively love it. I was like, what did I just get on the end of my nose? I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I know some people don't like to wear foundation, but I love the way that it looks when you've done your eyes and then you put on whatever your face makeup is. It doesn't even matter if you don't use foundation, but like your blush, your highlight, and like you just see the look come together, and it just, I just love it. And for me, I feel like when I, on myself, put foundation on and, you know, everything else, like I just feel like it makes the eyeshadow stand out more and just come together. Anyone else, or is it just me? And I feel that way, like I said, with or without foundation, but just whatever your base makeup is, because there have been days where I haven't used foundation and I've just used concealer and like a little bit of powder, and I feel the same exact way. So, but I just feel like now that I have like my base on, and I've, you know, I have like the discoloration of my, I don't know, my cheeks or whatever is gone, and like everything just looks so, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I just feel like the eyeshadow just comes to life, and I love it. Whew, it's like a plume of powder. This is the Beauty Bakery powder. I can't set this down, like, and I need to because I have a lot of other powders, bless you, that I need to. My hubby's in the other room and he just sneezed. I have other powders that I need to use up, but oh my gosh, when I do, I don't think I'll ever purchase another setting powder again. I'm not not kidding. Like, I've used this with like 10 different foundations. I've used it when it was warm outside because we had a day, it was last week, where it was like 80 degrees in the middle of February, and everyone was like, oh, it's such a nice day in February, I'm so happy. And I was like, yeah, well, you're gonna regret it when it gets cold again, and then everyone gets sick because the weather changed so extremely. Anyhow, sorry, my tangent. But yeah, this, you know, I've used it in the cold, I've used it in the rain, I've used it in the humidity, because it was 80 degrees and humid randomly in February. Anyhow, but yeah, so I love this powder, and literally my makeup looks exactly, I can't even describe. I'm gonna do a video where I do a day of like check-ins, and because it's insane to me. Sorry, I'm trying to grab this brush. It's insane to me how much my makeup looks exactly the same when I go to bed at night as when I put it on. Like, there's like no change. There's no change. And I just put a little bit extra, and then not like full baking. And I just take it off with, oh my gosh, I just opened this and it smells so good. This is the CoverGirl chocolate contour highlight thing. Oh, it smells good. But, and I don't like the taste of chocolate that much, but I love the smell of it. I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics brush. This is like the set that I got for you guys. And this is such a pigmented, I'm just going to kind of place it and then blend it. That was too much. But if we can blend it, we'll fix it. So yeah, that setting powder is no joke. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, I cannot even explain how much I love it. And it's the perfect setting powder on the face of the earth. I'm going into the Too Faced Peach palette, and I'm using that with what's left on my brush from the other one, because I feel like maybe I'll just use a tiny bit more. I just don't want that much on my forehead. But yeah, I will forever, I think, purchase this Beauty Bakery. I smell like a chocolate peach. Oh no, what did I do? Please blend out. So I definitely recommend the flower powder from Beauty Bakery. And I think in my next video, I'm going to try the pink one, because I bought the pink one. They have a banana one as well, if you like banana powder. And what else do they have? They have a banana one, they have a translucent one, they have a deep one. I forget what it's called. Toasted or something like that. I don't know. But they have a bunch of different ones. Why did I put that away? I need it for the blush. But yeah, so I'm rambling on, but I just love it. I'm going to use the blush in this palette. It's peachy, which I think is perfect for this look. Actually, I think I'm going to go into the palette itself and just use the tiniest amount of that Aroma shade, the orange matte shade. Oh yes, that's beautiful. Yes. That is so pretty. I love that Juvia's Place is so versatile sometimes that you can use the shades for other things. Like even their blush palettes that I own, I use as eyeshadow palettes sometimes, which I still need to do looks with those. I need a highlighter brush. Hello. There you are. So definitely, if you are in need of a new setting powder, try that one. Just melding the powders and getting my face ready for highlight. So I'm going to use Coro, which is this beautiful like gold but with like a green shift as my highlighter. Stunning. Some of the shades in this palette look a little bit like hard panned, but they aren't. Like they don't perform like they're hard panned, but they look like they are, if that makes sense. I don't know why that is, but as long as they don't perform like it, I'm alright with that. That's just so pretty. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Make sure people can see us from space. Okay, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay liner in the shade Oozy, which is kind of like it's like a brownish gray. Ooh, tickles. This is a new, well, not new, but I sharpened it recently. I don't think I've ever used this shade, but I always sharpen liners that I own, whether I use them or not, so that they stay good, I guess. And whenever it's just been sharpened, it like tickles. Okay, now we're gonna use this Kat Von D brush. I think that's what it is that I have. It's the double-ended one. And then I'm gonna go into Ashanti again, and I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line. And then we're almost done. I now have setting powder all over my shirt. And then I think I might run some of the orange underneath this as well, with the other side. So the one I used as my blush, I'm just going to kind of run it underneath and buff it out. It's kind of like a little bit more blown out than what I normally do. You can also try and guess down below what palettes I might dip into this week, which palettes have both more neutral colors and crazier colors in them. And I'm also going to try to make them palettes that I haven't used as much on my channel, or especially like recently, because this is my year of using stuff that I haven't used in a while. So I'm using that L'Oreal mascara that I recently got. I really like this mascara. It makes a huge difference. Oh, we still have to do the inner corner, don't we? I don't know, maybe my first impression of this palette being a little bit more difficult to work with was not correct, or either that or the darker shades are easier to work with. I mean, more neutral shades are easier to work with than the greens. I don't know, but I'm going to have to test it out. So I'm just going to stick that shade that I used as my highlighter, Coral, in my inner corner. And there will be, as always, close-ups on my Instagram, which is just at Pink Sweets with a 1 instead of an I, if you want to see those. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. Surprisingly enough. Let me close the palette. This is the, whoa, I don't know why this sprayer is more intense than any of my other Australis sprayers. I might have to switch bottles, but that is the Australis setting spray. My mom got it for me and brought it back from Australia because my cousin sent me some a while back and I fell in love with it. So anyhow, this is the final look. I'm really excited about this series. I'm excited about doing some more neutral looks on my channel, and I'm excited about, maybe I should hit the brow bone with that inner corner highlight. I'm excited about doing, you know, using shades that, well, palettes that I haven't used in a while, and some shades that I've either never used or hardly ever dip into. There we go. So let me know if you're excited about this as well, and I love you guys so much, and tomorrow there'll be a new video up with a different palette doing the same thing. So, I mean, not the exact same look, but you know what I mean. All right, I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.